The world has sold you a fundamental lie about wealth, a pervasive, soul-crushing lie that has 99% of the population running on a hamster wheel of exhaustion, chasing a piece of paper that always seems just out of reach. The lie is that money is something you pursue, that you must hunt it, trap it, and beg for it. You have been taught to chase the paycheck, to chase the promotion, to chase the next opportunity that promises a slightly bigger slice of the same stale pie. This is why you feel stuck. This is why, despite your hard work, you feel a constant, low-grade anxiety about your finances. You are playing a rigged game, a game designed to keep you a compliant worker and a predictable consumer for your entire life. You are chasing a shadow. You are trying to capture an effect while completely ignoring the cause. Money is an effect. Wealth is a byproduct. It is a shadow cast by a substance of immense and undeniable power. That substance is value. This is the great reversal, the paradigm shift that separates the frustrated masses from the free and sovereign few. Money is not pursued, it is attracted. Money doesn't flow to those who need it most or even to those who work the hardest. It flows as inevitably as a river to the sea to those who create the most value. While the 99% are asking, "How can I get more money?" the 1% are obsessed with a different, more powerful question. How can I create more value? They understand that your income is a direct and perfect reflection of the value you provide to the marketplace. You are not paid for your time. You are paid for the value you create within that time. This audiobook is your blueprint for escaping the hamster wheel forever. It is your guide to stop chasing the shadow and to start building the substance. We will dismantle the lies that have kept you poor and build brick by brick a new philosophy, a new identity, and a new set of actions based on this one immutable law. When you create value, money chases you. This is not about luck. This is not about privilege. This is a formula. It is a system that, when applied with relentless consistency, makes financial success not a probability, but an inevitability. If you are ready to stop being a hunter of scraps and start becoming a magnet for abundance, if you are ready to transform your effort into equity and your work into wealth, then your real work begins now. The principles in this audiobook are the foundation of true wealth and freedom. To ensure you stay on this path and continue to receive the hard-hitting truths you need to win, subscribe to this channel right now. Don't be part of the 99% who consume information and do nothing. Be the 1% who commits, acts, and transforms their reality. Subscribe now and let's begin the work. And if you find value by the end of this video, please leave a meaningful comment to keep motivating us to make content like this. Chapter 1: The Great Reversal. Stop chasing, start attracting. Let us begin by performing surgery on your mind. We must locate and remove the cancerous belief that has been sabotaging your financial life since the day you were born. That belief is that your goal is to make money. You wake up, and the objective is to earn a wage, to get a paycheck, to acquire currency. Every action, every decision is filtered through the lens of, how can I get more money? This is the chase. It is the frantic, desperate pursuit of an effect, and it is the foundational reason why 99% of people remain in a state of perpetual financial struggle. You are playing the game on the wrong field with the wrong rule book. Today, we burn that rule book. The new rule, the only rule that matters, is this: you do not chase money, you attract money. And money is attracted to one thing and one thing only: the presence of value. Your life's work is not to become a master money-getter. Your life's work is to become a master value creator. This is the great reversal. It is a 180-degree turn in your entire orientation to work, to your career, and to your finances. It is the single most important distinction between the mindset of the wealthy and the mindset of the masses. The 99% are hunters. They wake up each day and go out into the jungle of the economy to hunt for their kill, a paycheck. The hunt is stressful. It is competitive. There is a scarcity of prey. Some days they are successful, some days they are not. They are always at the mercy of the jungle. The 1% are not hunters, they are farmers. A farmer does not chase the harvest. A farmer understands that the harvest is an inevitable result of a careful, deliberate, and consistent process. The farmer focuses not on the fruit but on the soil. They spend their time and energy enriching the soil, planting the best seeds, watering them, protecting them from weeds. They focus on creating the conditions for growth. They have an unshakable faith that if they do the work of cultivation, the harvest will come. They are not chasing the result. They are creating the cause. You must become a farmer of value. Your skills, your knowledge, your character, this is your soil. The problems you solve, the solutions you provide, these are your seeds. The money you earn is simply the harvest. The 99% are so obsessed with the harvest that they completely neglect their soil. They don't invest in new skills. They don't read books. They do the bare minimum at their jobs. Their soil is barren and rocky, and they are constantly frustrated by their meager harvest. You must become obsessed with your soil. You must see every day as an opportunity to enrich it, to become a more valuable, more capable, and more effective human being. This is not just a philosophical shift, it is a practical one. It changes the questions you ask. The 99% ask, "How can I get a raise?" This is a question of a hunter asking for a bigger piece of the kill. The 1% ask, "How can I become so valuable that the company cannot afford not to give me a raise?" This is the question of a farmer focused on the quality of their crop. The 99% ask, "How can I find more customers to buy my product?" The 1% ask, "How can I make my product so valuable that customers start chasing me?" This reversal changes your entire posture in the world. The chaser is in a position of need. They are supplicants, beggars, hoping that someone will give them what they want. The attractor is in a position of power. They are a source, a wellspring. They have something that others desire. They are not asking, they are offering. Opportunities, clients, and money flow to the source of the value. Think about the most valuable people and brands in the world. Do they chase you, or do you chase them? You line up for their products. You compete for a position at their companies. You pay a premium for their services. They have focused so relentlessly on creating undeniable value that the world has no choice but to beat a path to their door. This is the game you must now begin to play. Your focus is no longer on your bank account. It is on your value account. Every day, you must ask yourself, what did I do today to make a deposit into my value account? Did I learn a new skill? Did I solve a difficult problem? Did I create something that did not exist before? This is the new scorecard. The money in your bank account is a lagging indicator of the balance in your value account. Focus on filling the first, and the second will take care of itself. This is the most liberating and empowering realization you can have. You are no longer a victim of the economy, of your boss, or of your circumstances. You are in complete 100% control of the one variable that matters, the amount of value you are capable of creating. The 99% will continue their frantic, exhausting chase, forever wondering why real wealth eludes them. They are chasing a mirage. You will be different. You will turn your back on the chase. You will turn your focus inward and begin the quiet, methodical, and profoundly powerful work of building your substance. You will become a creator of value. And then you will experience the magic. The thing you were once chasing will turn around and start chasing you. Chapter 2: The Value Equation. What problem do you solve? You have made the great reversal. You have committed to stop chasing money and to start creating value. This is a monumental first step, but the word value itself is abstract. It is a vague concept that on its own is useless. To make this principle actionable, we must distill it down to its raw, practical essence. We must define the value equation. It is the most important question you will ever answer in your professional life. What problem do you solve? This is the core of all economic value. All money that is ever exchanged is a payment for a solved problem. The aspirin you buy solves the problem of a headache. The plumber you hire solves the problem of a leaky pipe. The software you use solves the problem of disorganization. The world does not pay for effort. It does not pay for good intentions. It does not pay for your time. It pays for solved problems. And the amount of money you earn is in direct proportion to three things: the size of the problem you solve, the difficulty of the problem you solve, and the irreplaceability of your ability to solve it. If you cannot, right now, articulate the specific problem you solve in a single, clear sentence, then you are not in the value creation business. You are in the commodity business. A commodity is something that is interchangeable and easily replaced. And a commodity always fetches the lowest possible price. The 99% of people, when asked what they do, will answer with their job title. I am a marketing manager. I am a software developer. I am an administrative assistant. This is the answer of a commodity. It describes an activity, not an outcome. It is about what you do, not about the problem you solve. It is a passive label. The winner, the value creator, has a different answer. The marketing manager becomes, I solve the problem of obscurity. I help businesses get the attention of their ideal customers. The software developer becomes, I solve the problem of inefficiency. I build tools that automate complex processes and save companies thousands of man-hours. The administrative assistant becomes, I solve the problem of chaos. I create systems that give my executive 10 extra hours of focused, high-leverage time every week? Do you feel the shift in power? The first set of answers is about a role you fill. The second set of answers is about a problem you solve. This is not just a semantic trick. It is a fundamental reframing of your entire professional identity. You are no longer just an employee. You are a professional problem solver. Your value is not in your title. It is in your capacity to eliminate pain and create gain for others. So, how do you find your problem? This is a strategic process of looking both outward and inward. First, you must look outward. You must become an obsessive student of problems. You must train your brain to see the world not as a consumer, but as a diagnostician. What are people complaining about? In your company, in your industry, in your daily life, where is the friction? Where are the inefficiencies? What is causing frustration, costing money, or wasting time? Money flows to the points of greatest pain. The bigger and more painful the problem, the more the world will pay for its solution. The 99% avoid problems. The 1% hunt for them. Second, you must look inward. What are your unique strengths, your skills, your interests? This is not about some vague notion of following your passion. This is about a brutal and honest assessment of your arsenal. What skills do you currently have? What subjects do you learn about effortlessly? What activities put you in a state of flow, where time seems to disappear? This is your raw material. This is your unique toolkit for solving problems. The magic, the place where your fortune is made, is at the intersection of these two circles. It is the overlap between a painful market problem and your unique ability to solve it. This is your value zone. Most people end up in careers by accident. They fall into a job and they stay there. Their work is not a conscious, strategic choice. As a result, they are often solving problems they are not particularly good at or interested in solving. This is a recipe for mediocrity and a capped income. You must be the deliberate architect of your own value equation. You must consciously choose the problem you want to become the best in the world at solving. Let's say you are currently a customer service representative. The 99% in this role see their job as answering phone calls. The problem they solve is small. But what is the bigger problem? The bigger problem is that the company is at risk of losing customers due to poor service. Your new identity becomes, I solve the problem of customer retention. I turn angry customers into loyal advocates for our brand. Now you are not just an agent, you are a retention specialist. You start looking for patterns in the complaints. You propose a new system to your boss for solving a recurring issue. You have just dramatically increased your value. You are now solving a much bigger, more expensive problem. Once you have a hypothesis for your problem, you must test it. Talk to people. Frame it as a question. I've noticed a lot of people struggle with X. I help them solve it by doing Y. Is that a challenge you faced? Listen to their response. Do their eyes light up? Do they lean in and say, tell me more? The market will always give you feedback. This is a living, breathing process. Your value equation will evolve as you gain new skills and as the market changes. Your job is to constantly be asking yourself, what is the biggest, most valuable problem I can solve with the skills I have right now? And what is the one skill I could develop that would allow me to solve an even bigger problem? Stop defining yourself by a job title. Stop seeing yourself as a collection of activities. You are a problem solver. Your income will be determined by the size of the problem you have the courage and the competence to take on. Define your problem. And then, dedicate your life to becoming the best solution. Chapter 3. The Currency of Competence, Becoming Undeniably Good. You have identified your problem. You have defined your value equation. You now have a target. This alone sets you far apart from the 99% who are drifting through their careers without a clear sense of purpose. But a target is useless if you do not have a weapon capable of hitting it. Your weapon is your competence. The third and most crucial step in the value creation formula is to make a ruthless, non-negotiable commitment to becoming undeniably good at solving your chosen problem. Not just proficient, not just better than average, undeniably world-class good. In a world of infinite distraction and shallow knowledge, deep competence is the ultimate currency. It is the bedrock of all legitimate value. The 99% are dabblers. They are jacks of all trades, masters of none. Their knowledge is a mile wide and an inch deep. They know a little bit about a lot of things. This allows them to solve small, simple, shallow problems. And the world pays a small, simple, shallow wage for solving those kinds of problems. The market is flooded with dabblers. The competition is fierce, and the rewards are meager. The winner, the value creator, chooses a different path. They choose to go deep. They choose one well, and they are determined to dig until they hit water. They understand that the real rewards in life do not go to the person who is pretty good at 10 things, but to the person who is the absolute best at one thing. This is the principle of specialization. Think of the difference between a general family doctor and a world-renowned neurosurgeon. Both are doctors, but the neurosurgeon has gone a mile deep into a single, incredibly complex and high-stakes problem. Because of this deep specialization, they can provide a value that almost no one else on the planet can. Their competence is rare and irreplaceable. As a result, their income is in a completely different universe. This principle applies to every single field. The copywriter who is pretty good at writing emails will make a decent living. The copywriter who is the undisputed best in the world at writing sales pages for a specific industry will be a multimillionaire. The riches are in the niches. And the key to dominating a niche is deep, undeniable competence. So how do you build this? It is not about talent. Talent is a myth, an excuse that the lazy use to justify their own lack of progress. Competence is not a gift, it is a construction. It is the result of a process, and that process is called deliberate practice. The 99% practice on autopilot. They put in their 8 hours a day, but they are just repeating the same skills and patterns they learned years ago. They are not growing, they are stagnating. Their 10 years of experience is really just 1 year of experience, repeated 10 times. Deliberate practice is different. It is a highly focused, systematic, and often uncomfortable process of pushing yourself to the edge of your current abilities. It involves 3 key components. First, you must have a specific goal for each practice session. You are not just practicing. You are trying to improve one specific micro skill. A professional musician doesn't just play a song. They spend an hour working on a single, difficult 3-second passage. Second, you must have a tight feedback loop. You need a way of knowing in real time whether you are succeeding or failing. For an athlete, it's the coach watching their form. For a programmer, it's the code either working or breaking. You must create systems for getting immediate, honest feedback on your performance. Third, you must be in a state of intense, single-minded focus. You are not just going through the motions. Your entire cognitive capacity is directed at the task at hand, noticing your mistakes and making constant, micro-adjustments. This is hard work. It is not fun in the way that passive entertainment is fun. It is the deep, satisfying work of creation and growth. The 99% avoid this kind of work because it is uncomfortable. They prefer the comfort of doing what they are already good at. The winner has learned to embrace the discomfort. They know that the feeling of struggle is the feeling of growth. They are willing to be a clumsy beginner in the short term in order to become a fluid master in the long term. You must become a ruthless student of your craft. Who are the top 5 people in the world at solving the problem you have chosen to solve? You must become obsessed with them. Read their books. Watch their interviews. Deconstruct their work. You must be willing to invest in your own education more than anyone else would ever invest in you. Your brain is your single greatest asset. You must be constantly upgrading it. This journey to competence is not a side project. It is the main event. It is the daily, disciplined work of sharpening your axe. It is the process of building the substance that will cast the shadow of wealth. The confidence that comes from this deep competence is not the loud, fragile confidence of the ego. It is a quiet, unshakable, and authentic confidence that comes from knowing you can deliver. It is the confidence of the master craftsman who does not need to boast because their work speaks for itself. So, what is your one thing? What is the problem you will dedicate your life to mastering the solution for? Choose it. And then, begin the long, difficult, and profoundly rewarding journey of becoming so good they can't ignore you. In a world of amateurs, the master is king, and they are paid accordingly. Chapter 4: The Signal and the Noise. How to broadcast your value. You can be the most competent problem solver in the world. You can be the hidden genius, the master craftsman toiling away in your workshop, producing work of breathtaking quality. But if no one knows you exist, if the world does not perceive the value you have created, then your economic potential is zero. Creating value is only half of the equation. The other, equally important half is effectively signaling that value to the marketplace. The 99% of people believe a dangerous lie. They believe that their good work should speak for itself. They have a build it and they will come mentality. This is a noble but catastrophically naive philosophy. It is the mindset of the starving artist, the overlooked employee, the brilliant but broke inventor. They are waiting to be discovered. The winner understands that in a world saturated with noise, you cannot afford to be a whisper. You must be a clear, powerful, and consistent signal. Signaling your value is not about being arrogant, boastful, or inauthentic. It is not about faking it till you make it. It is the strategic and ethical communication of your competence. It is about making your invisible value visible. Think about any luxury brand. They do not just create a high-quality product and hope people find it. They invest enormous resources into signaling that quality. The design of their stores, the feel of their packaging, the aesthetic of their marketing, the premium price itself. All of these are deliberate signals designed to create a perception of elite value. You must become the luxury brand of you. You are the CEO of me, Inc., and you must manage your brand and your signals with the same level of intention. Every single touchpoint a potential client, employer, or partner has with you is an opportunity to either build or erode your perceived value. There are no neutral interactions. Your first and most important signal is your professional presentation. In the digital age, this is your online presence. When someone Googles your name, what do they find? Do they find a professional, well-curated LinkedIn profile that clearly articulates the problem you solve and showcases your results? Or do they find a ghost town, or worse, unprofessional photos from a decade ago? The 99% treat their online presence as an afterthought. The winner treats it as their digital storefront. It is the first impression you will make, and you have seconds to signal either credibility or incompetence. The second signal is the quality of your communication. Your emails, your proposals, your phone calls, every word matters. Is your communication clear, concise, and professional? Or is it sloppy, filled with typos and difficult to understand? A person who cannot be bothered to write a professional email is unlikely to be trusted with a high-stakes project. Clear communication signals a clear mind, and a clear mind is perceived as valuable. The third, and perhaps most powerful, signal is social proof. Humans are herd animals. We are wired to look to others for cues on what is valuable and trustworthy. When we see that other people, especially people we respect, trust, and endorse someone, our own trust in that person skyrockets. You must become a systematic collector and displayer of social proof. Testimonials from satisfied clients are pure gold. A single, powerful quote from a happy customer on your website is more persuasive than any marketing copy you could ever write yourself. Case studies, detailing a client's problem, your solution, and the measurable results are even better. They are concrete, undeniable proof of your value proposition in action. The 99% are shy about asking for testimonials. They feel like they are bothering people. The winner understands that if they have delivered exceptional value, their clients are often happy to share their success. They have a system for requesting and collecting social proof as a standard part of their process. The fourth signal is the strategic sharing of your expertise. You must stop being a vault of knowledge and start being a lighthouse. A lighthouse does not run around the coast looking for ships to save. It stands in one place, shines its light, and helps the ships that are looking for guidance. You will do this by creating and sharing content that is genuinely helpful to your target audience. Write articles, start a podcast, Create a YouTube channel, give presentations, generously teach what you know. The 99% are afraid to do this. They think, if I give away my best ideas for free, no one will pay me. This is a scarcity mindset. The winner has an abundance mindset. They know that by generously sharing their expertise, they are not losing their value. They are demonstrating it at scale. They are building a reputation as a trusted authority, and they are attracting their ideal clients to them, pre-sold on their value before they ever have a single conversation. The fifth signal is your price itself. Your price is a powerful statement about your perceived value. The 99%, especially when starting out, make the fatal mistake of underpricing themselves. They think, if I'm the cheapest, I'll get the business. This is a race to the bottom that attracts the worst clients and signals to the market that you do not believe in your own value. The winner has the courage to price themselves as a premium option. A premium price acts as a filter, repelling the bargain hunters and attracting serious clients who understand that you get what you pay for. Your premium price must, of course, be backed by premium competence, but you must have the confidence to signal your worth through the price you command. Your good work will not speak for itself. You must be its spokesperson. You must be as strategic and deliberate in signaling your value as you are in creating it. Audit your signals. Refine your presentation. Systematize your social proof. Share your expertise generously, and price with confidence. When the world can clearly see the immense value you have built, the money will have no choice but to follow. Chapter 5. The Value Exchange. Mastering the Art of the Ask. You have built your competence. You are broadcasting your value. The world is now aware of the problem you solve and your unique ability to solve it. Opportunities are beginning to flow toward you. Now, we arrive at the moment of truth. The moment where your intangible value is converted into tangible currency. This is the value exchange, and the skills that govern this exchange are sales and negotiation. For many people, these words are dirty. They conjure up images of manipulation, of high-pressure tactics, of a sleazy, zero-sum battle where one person wins and the other loses. The 99% of people are so repulsed by this idea that they actively avoid developing these skills. The brilliant creator, the masterful technician, they often believe their work is so good that it should sell itself, and they shouldn't have to engage in the distasteful business of asking for the money. This is a catastrophic error. It is the final hurdle where many incredibly valuable people fail, and it is why they remain brilliant but broke. You must fundamentally reframe your understanding of sales. Sales, at its highest level, is not about manipulation. It is about service. It is not about convincing someone to buy something they don't need. It is the art of leadership, of helping another person make a decision that is in their own best interest. It is about clearly and confidently demonstrating the bridge between their painful problem and your valuable solution. When you reframe selling as serving or enrolling, your entire energy shifts. You are no longer a desperate supplicant trying to get something. You are a confident expert offering to give something, a solution, a transformation, a better future. The foundation of ethical and effective sales is diagnosis. A master salesperson is like a master doctor. They would never prescribe a treatment before conducting a thorough examination. The 99% jump straight into their pitch. They talk about themselves, their product, their features. It is a monologue. The winner begins with a diagnosis. They ask powerful, open-ended questions. What's the biggest challenge you're facing with this right now? What would a perfect solution look like to you? What have you already tried to fix this? They listen more than they talk. They are not trying to sell, they are trying to understand. Only after they have a crystal clear understanding of the other person's pain do they begin to present their solution. And when they do, they present it not in terms of what it is, but in terms of what it does for the other person. They sell the outcome, not the process. They sell the relief, not the aspirin. Negotiation is the other side of this coin. Once the other person is enrolled in the value you provide, the negotiation is simply the process of agreeing on the terms of the exchange. The 99% fear negotiation because they see it as a conflict. The winner sees it as a collaborative problem-solving session. The goal is not to beat the other person. The goal is to arrive at a mutually beneficial agreement. The single greatest source of power in any negotiation is your ability to walk away. The person who needs the deal less always has the upper hand. This is why you must never operate from a place of desperation. This is why building multiple leads and opportunities is so critical. When you have other options, you can negotiate from a position of calm strength. You are not there to take any deal. You are there to find the right deal. When it comes to price, the 99% are quick to offer a discount at the first sign of resistance. This is a massive mistake. Discounting devalues your work and signals a lack of confidence. The winner rarely discounts. Instead, when faced with a price objection, they re-anchor the conversation on value. If a client says, "Your price is too high," the amateur says, "Okay, I can take 10% off." The professional says, "I understand it's a significant investment. Can you help me understand which part of the value I've described doesn't seem to align with the price?" This response doesn't devalue the work. It opens a conversation about the scope of the value. Perhaps the client doesn't need the full premium solution. You can then offer to remove certain components of the solution for a reduced price. You are trading value for value, not just giving away your margin for free. These skills, diagnosis, presenting benefits, and negotiating from a position of value, are not innate talents. They are muscles that must be built. You must study them. Read books on sales, on influence, on negotiation. And more importantly, you must practice them. Role play with a friend. Record your sales calls and analyze them. Start with small, low-stakes negotiations in your daily life. Your ability to create value is meaningless if you are unable to successfully exchange that value for a fair price. Many of the world's most brilliant minds have died poor because they refused to master this final, critical step. They saw it as beneath them. You must see it as the vital bridge between your effort and your freedom. Become as competent at communicating and exchanging your value as you are at creating it. When you can do both at a masterful level, money will not just follow you. It will sprint toward you, begging to be a part of the value you are creating. Chapter 6: The Multiplier Effect: Scaling Your Value Beyond Time. You have now mastered the complete cycle of value creation and exchange. You are a person of deep competence. You are effectively signaling your value to the market, and you are confidently exchanging that value for a premium income. This alone will make you a high-income earner, placing you in the top echelon of your field. But even at this level, you are still in a trap. It is a comfortable, gilded trap, but a trap nonetheless. It is the trap of trading your time for money. As a highly paid consultant, freelancer, or employee, your income is still directly tied to the hours you work. There is a hard ceiling on your potential because there are only 24 hours in a day. To achieve true wealth, to reach a state of financial freedom where your money is working for you instead of you working for it, you must break this link. You must learn to scale your value. You must harness the multiplier effect. The 99% of people, even high-earning ones, live their entire lives in a linear income model. 1 hour of work equals X dollars. The only way to make more is to work more hours or to increase their hourly rate. The winner, the true wealth builder, understands that this is a losing game. They transition from a linear model to an exponential one. They stop thinking like a worker and start thinking like a system builder. Their goal is to create assets that deliver their value for them, without their direct moment-to-moment involvement. There are 3 primary ways to achieve this multiplier effect. The first and most accessible in the modern age is through media. You can capture your knowledge, your expertise, your solution to a problem one time and have it serve thousands or even millions of people. Write a book. That book is a tiny, automated version of you, working 24/7 to deliver your value to the world. You do the work once and it pays you for years. Create an online course. You record the lessons once and you can enroll an unlimited number of students, scaling your ability to teach far beyond what you could ever do in a one-on-one setting. Start a YouTube channel, a podcast, or a blog. Each piece of content you create is a digital asset, a tiny employee that is out in the world, building your reputation and attracting opportunities around the clock. The 99% are consumers of media. The 1% are producers of media. They have made the shift from consuming to creating, understanding that every piece of media is a chance to clone their value. The second multiplier is capital. This is the classic definition of making your money work for you. It means taking the surplus income you are now generating and converting it into assets that generate more money. This primarily means investing. By consistently investing in low-cost, diversified index funds, as we have discussed in other audiobooks, you are buying ownership in hundreds of the world's greatest businesses. These businesses are working to generate profits for you while you are sleeping. Their thousands of employees are, in effect, working for you. This is the power of becoming an owner, a capitalist in the truest sense of the word. Capital can also be used to scale your own business. It means hiring your first employee. The moment you hire someone, you have begun to leverage another person's time. If you are a brilliant graphic designer, you can only create so many logos yourself. But if you can create a system for creating brilliant logos, you can hire and train 5 other designers to follow that system. You are no longer just a designer. You are the owner of a design machine. Your value is being multiplied by 5. The 99% are often terrified of this step. Their ego is trapped in the belief that no one can do it as well as I can. The winner understands that their job is not to do all the work, but to create a system that allows others to do the work to their standard. The third multiplier is technology, specifically code. Software and code are the most powerful forms of leverage ever invented. You can write a piece of code once, and it can perform a task 1,000,000 times flawlessly at virtually zero marginal cost. A software as a service, SaaS, business is a perfect example. A team of developers builds a valuable tool once, and it can be sold to an unlimited number of customers who pay a monthly subscription. The code is the asset delivering value at an infinite scale. Even if you are not a coder, you can leverage technology. You can use email marketing automation to build relationships with thousands of potential customers simultaneously. You can use e-commerce platforms to sell products to a global audience. The 99% are used by technology. Their attention is its product. The 1% use technology as a tool to multiply their own value. This is the great leap. It is the transition from being a well-paid employee, even if you are self-employed, to being a business owner and an investor. It requires you to stop thinking about your next paycheck and start thinking about your asset column. It requires you to think in terms of systems, of replication, of leverage. What is one piece of your knowledge that you could package into a piece of media? What is one repetitive task you are doing that you could create a process for and outsource? What is one part of your work that could be automated by technology? Start small. Create your first digital asset. Hire your first freelancer for a 5-hour task. The journey to scale is a journey of 1,000 small steps. But it is the only path that leads to true financial freedom. It is the only way to build a life where your income is not dependent on your presence. It is how you build a machine that will chase money for you, long after you have stopped running yourself. Chapter 7. The Law of Compounding Value. Small inputs, massive outputs. There is a silent, invisible, and unstoppable force that governs all growth in the universe. It is the force that turns a small seed into a mighty forest, a tiny snowball into an avalanche, and a single dollar into a fortune. That force is the law of compounding. Most people are familiar with this concept in finance, but they fail to realize that it is a universal law that applies to every single aspect of their lives. And it is the secret engine that drives the long-term success of every value creator. The 99% of people live in a linear world. They believe that input is directly proportional to output. They are looking for the one big action, the quantum leap, that will transform their lives overnight. They are addicted to the myth of intensity. They go all in for a week, see no dramatic results, and then they quit, concluding that their efforts were a failure. They are perpetually starting over, never giving the law of compounding a chance to work its magic. The winner, the value creator, understands that the greatest rewards in life are not the product of a single heroic effort, but the cumulative result of thousands of small, consistent inputs. They are not trying to get 100% better in a day. They are trying to get 1% better every single day. On its own, a 1% improvement is almost unnoticeable. It is so small that it feels insignificant. Writing one extra page, making one extra sales call, reading 10 pages of a book, these actions do not feel life-changing in the moment. This is the plateau of latent potential, the period where the 99% lose faith. But the person who has faith in the law of compounding keeps going. They understand that these small daily deposits are not just adding up, they are multiplying. A 1% improvement every day does not make you 365% better in a year. It makes you nearly 38 times better. This is the staggering exponential power of compounding. The value you are building in yourself, your skills, your knowledge, your reputation, is subject to this same law. Every day that you practice your craft, you are not just adding to your skill, you are compounding it. The new skill you learn today makes all of your existing skills more valuable. The new insight you gain makes all of your previous knowledge more effective. You are not just building a pile of bricks. You are building a structure where each new brick reinforces all the others, creating a fortress of competence that is far stronger than the sum of its parts. The 99% are dabblers. They learn a little about this, a little about that. Their value is a collection of disconnected, non-compounding assets. The winner goes deep. They choose a single domain and they make small, consistent deposits of effort and learning into it, day after day. Their value compounds exponentially, and over time the gap between them and the dabbler becomes an unbridgeable chasm. This law also applies to the assets you build. Every blog post you write, every video you create, every piece of code you ship is a small asset. On its own, it may not seem like much. But a library of 500 blog posts built over several years becomes a massive, compounding asset. Each post links to the others, creating a web of value that attracts more traffic, more authority, and more opportunities. The value of the whole becomes far greater than the sum of the parts. To harness this law, you must make a profound shift in your mindset. You must fall in love with the process, not just the outcome. You must learn to derive satisfaction from the simple, daily act of showing up and making your 1% deposit. You must have the patience and the foresight to work for months, or even years, in the quiet darkness of the plateau, building your root system, with the unshakable faith that the explosive, visible growth will come. This requires you to reject the world's obsession with immediacy. It requires you to have a long-term time horizon. The 99% are trying to win the week. You are trying to win the decade. This is not a passive process of waiting. It is an active, daily process of disciplined execution. It is about building systems and habits that ensure your 1% deposit is made every single day, regardless of your mood or your motivation. The system is what carries you through the inevitable periods of boredom and discouragement. The habit is what makes the deposit automatic. What is the one small, 1% improvement you can make in your core skill today? What is the one small, value-creating asset you can build and ship today? Do not dismiss these actions as too small to matter. They are the only things that truly matter. They are the seeds of your future empire. They are the first turn of the flywheel that will, with consistent effort, generate an unstoppable momentum. The 99% will continue their search for the shortcut, the hack, the lottery ticket. They will forever be looking for a way to reap a harvest they did not sow. You will be different. You will be a farmer of compounding value. You will show up every day, you will make your small deposit, and you will have the patience to watch as the most powerful law in the universe builds you a fortune that is not just large, but is also stable, earned, and lasting. Chapter 8: The Creator's Mindset, From Scarcity to Abundance. The entire system of value creation that we have been building rests upon a single, foundational pillar. It is the internal operating system that runs in the background of your mind, coloring every perception, guiding every decision, and ultimately determining your results. This is your core mindset. And the fundamental shift that separates the value creator from the money chaser is the shift from a mindset of scarcity to a mindset of abundance. The 99% of people operate from a deep, often unconscious belief in scarcity. They see the world as a zero-sum game, a finite pie. For them to get a bigger slice, someone else must get a smaller one. There is a limited amount of money, a limited number of good jobs, a limited number of opportunities. This scarcity mindset is a psychological prison. It breeds fear, competition, and a defensive, hoarding mentality. The person with a scarcity mindset is afraid to share their knowledge because they believe someone might steal their edge. They are jealous of other people's success because they see another's win as their own loss. Their primary focus is on what they can get, on protecting their small slice of the pie from everyone else. It is a stressful, anxious, and ultimately impoverished way to live. The winner, the value creator, operates from a completely different paradigm. They have a mindset of abundance. They see the world as a positive-sum game, an ever-expanding pie. They understand a profound truth. Value is not a finite resource that is divided up. Value is something that can be created out of thin air. When you invent a new technology that solves a problem, you are not taking value from someone else. You have created new value that did not exist before. You have made the entire pie bigger. The person with an abundance mindset is not afraid to share their knowledge, because they know that by teaching others, they are not losing their power. They are building their reputation and their influence. They are genuinely happy for other people's success, because they see it as proof of what is possible and as a potential opportunity for collaboration. Their primary focus is not on what they can get, but on what they can give. They are not worried about getting their slice of the pie because they are too busy in the kitchen, experimenting with new recipes to bake bigger and better pies for everyone. This is not just a feel-good philosophical difference. It is a practical, strategic advantage. The scarcity mindset leads to short-term thinking and a focus on extraction. The abundance mindset leads to long-term thinking and a focus on contribution. And paradoxically, the person who is focused on contributing is the one who ultimately receives the most. When you operate from abundance, you are more willing to take risks, to invest in your own growth, and to collaborate with others. You are not playing a game of defense. You are playing a game of offense. Your energy is expansive, not contractive. This is incredibly attractive. People want to work with, buy from, and partner with people who have an abundant, optimistic, and generous spirit. Scarcity repels opportunity. Abundance attracts it. So how do you cultivate this mindset, especially if you are starting from a place of nothing, where scarcity feels like your objective reality? First, you must curate your inputs. Your mind is a garden. If you constantly feed it with the fear, outrage, and comparison of the 24-hour news cycle and social media, you will grow a garden of weeds. You must be ruthless about what you allow into your consciousness. Unfollow the negative. Unsubscribe from the cynical. Instead, you must consciously consume content that reinforces an abundance mindset. Read biographies of great creators and entrepreneurs. Listen to podcasts that are focused on innovation, problem-solving, and possibility. Your mindset will become the average of the information you consume. Second, you must practice gratitude. Scarcity is a focus on what is missing. Abundance is a focus on what you have. The fastest way to shift your state is to practice gratitude. Every single day, take 60 seconds to identify 3 things you are grateful for. This is a powerful neurological exercise that trains your brain to scan the world for positives instead of negatives. It is impossible to be in a state of gratitude and a state of scarcity at the same time. Third, you must shift your identity from being a consumer to being a creator. The default mode for the 99% is consumption. Their primary interaction with the world is taking things in. The value creators' default mode is production. Their primary interaction is putting things out into the world: ideas, solutions, products, art. At the beginning of each day, ask yourself not, "What will I consume today?" but "What will I create today?" Even if it is a small, simple act of creation, it is a powerful affirmation of your identity as a producer, not just a user. This is the bedrock. This is the soil from which your entire empire of value will grow. The 99% are trapped in a prison of their own making, a prison of scarcity. Your first and most important act of creation is to build a new mind for yourself, a mind that sees possibility where others see limits, that sees opportunity where others see problems, and that understands that the more value you give to the world, the more the world will give back to you. Chapter 9. Building Your Value Ecosystem, Networks and Reputation. The journey of value creation is not a solo mission. While the foundation is your own individual competence and mindset, your ability to scale your impact and your income is directly tied to the ecosystem you build around yourself. The 99% of people operate as lone wolves. They see their career as an individual sport. They are focused on their own performance, their own resume, their own direct efforts. This is a slow, difficult, and ultimately limited path. The winner, the value creator, understands that success is a team sport. They do not operate as a lone wolf. They operate as the central hub of a powerful ecosystem. This ecosystem is built on two critical pillars: your network and your reputation. Your network is not the collection of business cards you gather at a conference. It is the web of authentic, trust-based relationships you have with other people. The old saying, "It's not what you know, it's who you know," is only half true. The real truth is, who you are willing to know is a direct reflection of what you know and the value you provide. High-value people want to be connected to other high-value people. The 99% approach networking with a scarcity mindset. They are network extractors. They ask, "What can this person do for me?" They only reach out when they need a job, a referral, or a favor. This energy is transparent and repelling. The winner approaches networking with an abundance mindset. They are network contributors. They ask, "What can I do for this person?" Their primary goal is to genuinely help others, to add value to their network with no immediate expectation of return. Can you introduce two people who would benefit from knowing each other? Can you send an article or a resource that could help someone solve a problem they are facing? Can you offer a piece of your expertise for free? You must become a giver. By consistently adding value to your network, you are making deposits in the bank of reciprocity. When the time comes that you need help, people will be eager to assist you because you have built a reputation as a generous contributor, not a selfish taker. Your reputation is the second, and arguably more important, pillar of your ecosystem. Your reputation is the ultimate currency. It is the story that people tell about you when you are not in the room. It is the collective perception of your competence, your character, and your trustworthiness. A strong reputation is an incredible asset. It precedes you into every interaction, opening doors and creating opportunities that would otherwise be closed. A weak or damaged reputation is a massive liability, a headwind that you will have to fight against at every turn. Your reputation is built on two simple things: your results and your character. Your results are the proof of your competence. Every time you deliver excellent work on time and exceed expectations, you are making a deposit into your reputational bank account. Every missed deadline, every piece of sloppy work is a withdrawal. You must be maniacally protective of the quality of your output. Your character is about how you conduct yourself. Are you honest? Do you treat people with respect regardless of their status? Do you take ownership when you make a mistake? In the long run, character is more important than competence. A brilliant person with poor character will eventually be found out and will burn all their bridges. A competent person with impeccable character will build a network of loyal advocates who will champion them for a lifetime. The 99% are often willing to sacrifice their long-term reputation for a short-term gain. They will cut a corner. They will tell a white lie. They will step on someone else to get ahead. The winner is playing the long game. They know that their reputation is their single most valuable asset, and they would never trade it for a fleeting advantage. These two pillars, your network and your reputation, work together to create a powerful, self-reinforcing flywheel. Your deep competence allows you to deliver great results. Delivering great results builds your reputation. Your strong reputation as a competent person of high character attracts a network of other high-value people. Your network then brings you new and better opportunities to apply your competence and deliver even more results. And the flywheel spins faster and faster. This is your value ecosystem. It is what works for you when you are not working. It is the structure that generates inbound opportunities, that validates your expertise, and that provides you with a support system of allies and advocates. You must be a deliberate architect of this ecosystem. Be strategic about who you connect with. Be a giver, not a taker. Guard your reputation with your life. The 99% are trying to climb the ladder of success on their own. The winner is building a powerful elevator, powered by the collective strength of their network and the undeniable force of their reputation. Chapter 10: Beyond the Transaction, the Legacy of Value. We have reached the pinnacle of our journey. We have traced the complete path from the mindset of chasing money to the system of creating value. If you apply these principles with discipline and consistency, you will become wealthy. The money will chase you. The financial success is an inevitable outcome of the process. For the 99%, this is the end of the story. The goal is to accumulate enough money to be able to stop working, to retreat to a life of comfort and consumption. The dream is retirement. This is a small and ultimately unfulfilling vision. The winner, the true master of value creation, understands that the game is not over, it has just reached a new level. They understand a profound truth. Money is not the goal. Money is fuel. It is a tool. It is a resource that, when used wisely, massively amplifies your ability to create even more value and to have an even greater impact on the world. The ultimate prize is not retirement. It is freedom. It is the freedom to work on the problems you are most passionate about solving, without the constraint of needing to earn a paycheck. It is the freedom to contribute on your own terms. This is the final and most profound evolution of the value creator. You move from creating value for income to creating value for impact. You begin to think not just about your career, but about your legacy. What is the dent you want to leave in the universe? What is the problem you want to solve, the change you want to create, the institution you want to build that will continue to provide value to the world long after you are gone? This is not a question to be pondered in your old age. It is a question that can and should begin to fuel you now. Having a mission that is bigger than your own bank account is the ultimate source of motivation. It is what will drive you to push through the plateaus, to endure the setbacks, and to continue your relentless pursuit of mastery. When you are working not just for yourself, but for a cause you deeply believe in. You will unlock a level of energy and resilience you never knew you possessed. This legacy mindset also changes your relationship with money. When you see money as fuel for your mission, you become a more responsible and strategic steward of it. You are less likely to squander it on frivolous, ego-driven consumption. You are more likely to reinvest it into your own learning, into your business, into the assets that will further your cause. The 99% want to look rich. The 1% want to be rich so that they can fund what matters. Your legacy is not some separate future project. It is being built right now in the daily act of the value you are creating. The competence you are building is the foundation of your legacy. The reputation you are earning is the currency of your legacy. The network you are cultivating is the army of your legacy. The key is to become more intentional about the ripple effect of your work. If you are building a business, you are not just creating a product. You are creating jobs. You are creating opportunities for your employees to grow. You are contributing to the economic health of your community. See the larger impact of your daily efforts. Mentorship is another powerful way to build your legacy. As you climb the mountain of mastery, you have a responsibility to reach back and help those who are just beginning their climb. Teach what you know. Share your wisdom generously. The value you have created is multiplied exponentially when you empower others to become value creators themselves. Your legacy is not just in what you build. It is in who you build up. This final chapter is not about giving you a new tactic. It is about giving you a new context for all the tactics you have learned. It is about elevating your ambition from personal success to lasting significance. The formula remains the same. When you create value, money chases you. But now you understand the full depth of that law. The money is not just currency. It is freedom, it is power, it is the fuel for your purpose. And the value is not just a service or a product. It is your contribution, it is your impact, it is the positive echo you leave behind in the world. You are not just building a career. You are building a life of meaning. You are not just chasing wealth. You are on a quest to realize your highest potential and to make your greatest contribution. This is the ultimate game, and it is a game you are now fully equipped to play and to win for a lifetime. The closing. The blueprint is complete. The great reversal has been revealed. You now hold the master key to a life of abundance, not by learning the secret to getting more, but by committing to the discipline of giving more. You now understand the immutable law. When you create value, money chases you. This is no longer a mere concept. It is an operating system waiting to be installed. The 99% will hear this, they will nod, and then they will go back to the chase. They will go back to hunting for the paycheck, to scrambling for their slice of a finite pie, forever wondering why their effort does not match their results. They are chasing a shadow, and their life will be a long, exhausting, and ultimately fruitless pursuit. But you are not the 99%. You have stayed to the very end because you are a farmer, a builder, an architect. You are a creator. You are ready to turn your back on the chase and to begin the quiet, methodical, and profoundly powerful work of cultivation. The journey from where you stand now to a future of freedom and abundance is not a single leap. It is a series of small, deliberate, daily steps. It is the step of identifying the problem you will solve. It is the step of spending 30 minutes in deliberate practice to become better at solving it. It is the step of sharing one piece of your knowledge to signal your value. It is in these small, unsexy, and consistent actions that your entire empire will be built. This is no longer just about your finances. This is about your identity. This is about your character. You are moving from the identity of a consumer to the identity of a creator. You are moving from the mindset of scarcity to the mindset of abundance. You are becoming a person of substance, a source of solutions, a force for good in the world. This is the source of a deep and unshakable self-respect, a form of wealth that no amount of money can buy. The money is simply the byproduct, the applause that the world gives for a masterful performance. Focus on the performance, not the applause. The time for learning is over. The time for creating has begun. Your soil is waiting. Your seeds are in your hand. What is the one act of value you will create today? What is the one problem you will step forward to solve? Your future is not a lottery ticket you are waiting to find. It is a garden you are about to plant. Go and begin the great work.